Hey, it's Dave Kohlmeier, the Problem Solver. Thanks so much for joining us again. As usual, my goal is to bring on experts in different issues, ways of solving problems, especially in Las Vegas or anywhere within the United States. My goal is to help people get. I'm Dave Kohlmeier, the Problem Solver. I'm not an attorney. I'm a retired police officer that helps everybody that's out there, whoever needs help. You can contact me. I can be reached at 702-999-1111. That's 702-999-1111 or theproblemsolver.vegas. Today, we have not had someone that does credit repair, and I wanted to get some knowledge and experience and information. I have Alex Ruiz with INAR Enterprise, and I have him here specifically today to basically just get some information. It's a new relationship we have, and when people call me all the time, my goal is to help people. So a lot of people want to go buy a house, or they have things on their credit, they don't want to get rid of it. I've had some family members have done some credit repair in the past, writing letters and doing different things, but like you always feel it's some type of magic. So anyway, thank you so much for coming on The Problem Solver.
Yeah, no problem.
So tell us actually a little bit about yourself. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Glendora, California.
Okay.
So I was raised up until like 5 years old, and then I came out here. I went to Ruth 5 Elementary School, then pretty much started growing in pretty much California, born in Vegas, raised, and then started going back and forth a lot. So.
Okay. So your company, in general, what does your company specifically do? If you break down, do you do more than credit repair? If someone asks you, what does your company do? What would you say?
Yeah, so pretty much I own a consulting agency that does credit repair, business funding. I can help coach the clients one-on-one to get to 700 or whether it's a specific goal that it is for them to get a car, a house, or just even just better credit cards, right? I just improve daily living. And then from there, I'm a very much a serial entrepreneur. I actually have a merchant terminals as well. So
credit card merchant services?
Exactly. So it's a very drip business.
Okay.
Like, it's not just one thing that they can go through. They can go through the whole.
So basically, kind of do like a lot of business stuff, kind of like business. Well, I want to say development, but it's more of business resources, right? For any type of like new business, right?
Exactly. Because
okay, great.
I'm gonna be honest with you, almost every entrepreneur needs credit. They need capital, and then they need some type of terminal to help them get payments. How do they get paid?
Well, actually, I'm really glad you're here because I feel like these topics are like weird topics where like you don't know where to go, you don't know who to trust in general. Yeah. So like you're more intimidated. A perfect example recently with like the AI. I just got involved in ChatGPT. I kept saying ChatGPT or something. And a lot of people, like I'm 49 now, I got old here in Vegas. I came out of Vegas when I was 26 and I just turned 49. But I feel like with technology, like you don't know where to go, what to trust, right? And there's so much on social media, right? Like click here, there's a program here, like you don't know where to go.
Yeah.
And I recently was at a dealership in Arizona, and with some guys who are like maybe my age, and they don't know anything about ChatGPT. Like I was showing them just how you could talk to it, and it talks back, and they had no clue, Or even on the iPhone, like if I do a text message, I'm not sure if you know the feature. You're younger than me, where you could send later the text message. Like you could, do you know about that one?
No, I don't.
I'm teaching you one. Like, so let's just say it's 2:00 in the morning, and you're in business or personal relationships, and you want to send 20 different text messages to different people. You can set up the text message, and there's a button that says send later, and it tells you what time that it sends that text. So you could send it out at 11:00 in the morning or 3:00 in the afternoon. So you're setting it up. So someone taught me this, the other day. Not like it's a huge big deal for people that know about it. But basically, it's a big deal because at midnight you want to send out some text messages and you'll forget in the morning, right? Exactly. So you literally are setting it up for it to go out the next day. It can go out a week later. It could be a happy birthday text or something,
Yeah.
Did you know about that or no?
No, I didn't know about that. Gave me something new.
I'm getting it. It's really it seems so simplistic, but it's amazing because at nighttime I'm going through my text messages and you want to respond back, and it's not a good time, right? 10:30 at night, 11:30, like you feel bad. So that's a good one. Then ChatGPT, have you been using it where you speak to it?
Yeah, not where I speak to it. Usually I just ask it questions like about business and stuff like that.
And how do you get the answer back? Just written?
Yeah, I get it back written.
So I'm a little bit confused, but we'll do this right now. I've been showing this to people and everyone's kind of amazed, and I'm probably doing nothing. But on the ChatGPT, maybe I have the one program up, which is $20 more, but you can speak to it. So you can call it any name. So we have a name in the family called Mish. So I'll say, hey, Mish, are you there?
Hey, Mish, that's a cute name. It's always fun giving our devices or even our cars a friendly nickname. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like me to help you with.
So I talk to it now. Do you do this or no?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I have my friend here. His name is Alex. We're on the Problem Solver podcast, and he does credit repair. I'm just curious with you, what knowledge do you have about credit repair for someone in Las Vegas?
Credit repair can definitely be a helpful service, especially for people who are trying to improve their credit scores, to qualify for loans or get better interest rates. The process typically involves reviewing credit reports, identifying any errors, disputing inaccuracies, and sometimes negotiating with creditors. If you have any specific questions or need tips, I'm happy to help.
I'm just testing you out right now. So in Las Vegas, what top 3 companies do credit repair, and how would you figure that out yourself as being AI?
Let me know.
How do you know those reviews aren't fake? Because a lot of people will do fake reviews just to increase business.
That's definitely a valid concern. It's always a good idea to look for a consistency across multiple review platforms and check for detailed, authentic sounding feedback. Sometimes you can also look at how businesses respond to both positive and negative reviews, which can give you a sense of their customer service. And of course, personal recommendations are always a great way to go.
Okay, thanks so much. So you've never done it before, right?
No, I've never done that. No.
So most people, I think, are talking to it and they're seeing the response back and written, but I'm talking to it like it's a friend.
Yeah.
Is it crazy to see that, or?
No, I would say it's very common with AI now, because I mean you can send a whole voice recording and have it be done for you.
What's interesting too is that it remembers all the stuff. So if I say, "Hey, what are the names to my kids?" It remembers previous conversations and
Really?
learns from it. It's interesting because certain questions you would ask it a little bit different just to
Yeah.
see how it responds back.
Mhm.
But anyway, so in regards to credit repair, they mentioned 3 different places. People can leave, different reviews in general. Tell me about so your company's name, and then tell me a little bit about credit repair in general. I guess maybe the top 5 things that you normally do to help people with credit repair.
Yeah, so obviously I'm wearing it on my shirt. It's INAR Enterprise, right? So that's my brand. And the top 5 things that I pretty much help with is I can dispute anything on the profiles, from like student loans, which is very big as of right now because of what got passed, bankruptcies, child support, which not a lot of people know about, but it's mostly, I'm going to say it's mostly men's profiles that I usually see that on, evictions, repos, collections, charge-offs, and increase.
Okay.
Okay, so the 5 ways that I deal with it, it's either there's usually like 3 categories that they're in. They're either in high debt, they either have no history, or they have bad credit. Okay, it just depends on the person, obviously, where they're at, because everyone's profile is different. So the way that I help out is that I create customized action plans, pretty much challenging the 3 credit bureaus for removals, which is Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. All I do is I create those letters. We get results in 30, 45 days. Each round, the process is very different for everybody because no one's profile is the same. So it takes about anywhere from 6 to 9 months. Depends also on the person and how fast they're doing their part as well, because it's a very 2-way street, right?
Okay.
What I require from my clients whenever they work with me is they either pay down their cards, no more late payments, and don't apply for anything else, no more increase, right? Everything's completely hands off. You'll know exactly when you get your results because you're going to be working with me also one-on-one, and then go on from there.
So people that basically have, like, what about the late payments?
Mm-hmm.
How do you dispute those? Isn't that more difficult because it's really tracked?
It is really tracked, and it's very hard to actually get off, but I've been able to do it very quickly.
So basically, you have certain strategies that you use.
Yeah.
I see you smiling. You
Consumer
don't
loss.
secrets.
Yeah.
So long story short, you have ways of doing it. So late payments delaying. You're saying if you owe money, now what's normal the ratio? Like if you have a $10,000 credit card availability and you're at 5,000 and you spend $5,000, is it don't go more than half?
Actually, that's a great question. Usually, so I know that this isn't really taught at school. I'm be honest with you, and then it's not even taught at college. So let's say, David, what's your highest credit card
Limit?
Yeah, what's your
Let's say 10 grand.
10 grand. Okay. What's 10% of 10 grand?
1,000.
Exactly. So for your score to go up, if you're working with me, I would tell you keep it under 1,000 for your score to go up, which is exactly what you want if you want to get approved for a car, house, or mortgage, right? If you want lenders to take you seriously.
So you really have to pay down a lot if you owe a lot of money.
Exactly. Okay. Now, do you know the safety net of that card?
The safety net?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean with that?
Like, do you know like the certain percentage you need to be at for your score not to go up or go down?
No.
It's 30%.
30% of your
max limit.
Max limit?
So what's 30% of 10 grand? 3,000. You pass 3,000, now your score is going to go down. Okay. So I deal with clients that either have maxed out credit cards, they have high debt, and now they're catching interest. So if you had a $10,000 credit card, it's at what? Let's say it's at $10,100. Okay. You got to pay down that card. And then there's ways to go about it. There's either debt consolidation or we either build a game plan where you take down the highest credit card or lowest credit card. We figure out how many you got, and then create an action plan from there.
So come with a game plan to pay down the debt if that's the concern.
If that's the concern, or we do balance transfers. Do you know what a balance transfer is?
You transfer one money over to another card
Exactly,
with
but
lower interest rate.
exactly, it's just from 12 to 18 months is 0%, and then you obviously guess what that does? That actually frees up that card, and then now your score is going up. But there's certain ways to go about it because I don't recommend that for every single client because everyone's paycheck is different.
All right, so paying down the debt is one thing. Transferring your cards, the balance, to one that has lower interest rate or 0%.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know all the different credit cards these days that are out there?
I know a lot of them, yeah, because I'm actually affiliated with most different of these cards and companies, just because I do this for a living.
So I see online these days, which I've always wanted to study it, where the guy talks about like the Chase card and this card and that card, and start with this card, get rid of that card, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you know all those kind of games, I guess, to get the better credit?
Like strategically,
Yeah.
it just depends on the person.
Every month it probably changes too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, everything changes. Nothing's really the same. So if you want to do like credit card stacking, I can obviously do that for these clients. It just
What do you call it,
depends.
stacking?
Yeah.
I've heard that right. Credit card stacking means when you're basically building up availability of money
Yeah.
that you can use if you're basically trying to get a business.
Mm-hmm. It's lines of credit.
Lines
exactly.
of credit.
Yeah.
And when you stack it, there's a certain way of doing it.
There's a strategic way of doing it, and there's a wrong way of doing it. It just depends on the person, how fast they want to get there, how fast they want to see results, but it also depends on their profile, right? Because I'm sure your wife is a mortgage lender, correct?
Mm-hmm.
She probably sees a bunch of bad credit all day. She probably sees profiles that are in the 700, but they're not qualified. It looks like a weak profile,
Mm-hmm.
right? Your 700 is not doing anything. Who do you think they're going to trust more? David Kohlmeier with 5 collections, but he has 20 years of history? Or they're going to trust me with only 2 accounts on my profile and I have a $1,000 credit card to get a house? The score really doesn't matter. It's the profile.
The the totality of it, all right?
Because your credit report is like, I'm gonna break it down a little bit. It's like a school.
Mhm.
So it's like a report card pretty much.
When you do the stacking, what's the reason why that people would do the stacking of cards?
Capital for like lines of money. So I deal with clients that are trying to get into the real estate business,
Okay.
or they want to get into Airbnb or drop shipping, right? I'm sure you know the strategic number of businesses that fell, right?
Mhm.
Usually in the first 5 to 10 years, they don't have capital, right? So if they work on their profile with me way before they even start these businesses, right, I'm going to help them get capital. I'm actually working with programs that are pretty much homeless. I work with military. I work with also the VAs, and then I also work with VPs as well.
The thing with it is when you try to build up these cards, even if you're trying to buy real estate, I guess that if you want to put the money, I guess it's more for like a fast transaction because I have a bunch of real estate investment portfolio. But I guess if you wanted to go buy, let's say someone needed $10,000 down or something, I guess you could use the card for that.
Exactly.
But can you actually get the cash or you're getting this checks? You can get both?
What do you mean like checks?
Like, perfect example, let's say I want to buy your home. I'm like, hey, I'll give you 10 grand down and we want to close in 90 days. My goal is to flip that property
Mm-hmm.
to someone else, but I need the 10 grand to like open escrow with the guy, right?
Yeah.
With the show in good faith.
Mm-hmm.
I can still, with the credit card, get the checks, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's a higher rate normally, right, when you use the checks.
Usually it's a higher rate. I would usually say that it's not my expertise as far as what that it's done or what it can do. But usually once I get them the capital, they're able to use that card line of credit to pretty much buy anything that they want to buy, right? There's also ways to even pull it out of that card. You can actually liquidate the cards as well. Pull it out in cash.
Pull the cash.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you see in your experience? What are people, I mean, I'm always looking for like creative businesses and so on. What do you see people doing that for? Like the stacking the cards. You mentioned Airbnb, you mentioned real estate. Like give me like more of an example, like how people are going to come to you right now because basically I'm going to refer you to them. They're going to, and then say they need business. You can get cards. You can take money out to open a business and things like that. The only thing is you got to hope and pray that you do well with the business because like business isn't easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get all this money, you do all these things, and then meanwhile there's no business.
Yeah. Give you an example of like what they do with these lines of credit. So what I'm running to a lot right now is honestly, there's been a lot of trucking businesses coming up to me. Yeah.
Where they're buying the truck with the card?
They're buying trucks with the cards.
See, I can see that because you're immediately getting a job. Like a perfect example of you. Well, what I like about the problem solver too of what I'm trying to do is always helping people. So let's say you want to go buy a car and you want to do Uber Lyft. Because these days I always tell people, and the future is going to be different, right? Because they have all these technology, right? They're going to be these robots driving the car, right? Which is slowly coming. It's already here, right? But right now, like if you wanted to go make money, I tell people to go do Uber Lyft. Even if you're working 100 hours a week, you're going to be making money. You'll have money. Like in America, like you can go do this. You can go lease a car for, I think it's like $375 a week from Hertz or these other places to drive. But technically, you probably can get a credit card. And what do you think? It's 12 months, 18 months, no interest?
For business funding, like these lines of credit is mostly 12 months, 0% APR.
So it's not bad if they want to go buy, I think these days, like a cheaper Tesla to drive around locally to Uber Lyft with 0% interest and drive and make a living. That may be better than $375 a week from Hertz for driving. But my main thing is that when people say they don't have any money or they want to work, I don't get it. I mean, like you have to push yourself to some degree. And I mean, there's some people that I know, they're making $1,000 or $1,500 a week.
Yeah.
I mean, so depending where you're living, if your rent may be, whether you're renting a room somewhere or your rent's $1,000 a month, I think that you can make good money doing it. Now, yes, are you working a bunch? Yeah, but like you're driving the car. Like it's not, you're not digging the ditch. And there's air conditioning, there's a radio, you can stop for food. Like there could be a lot worse jobs than we can. Like I don't think it's such a big deal. You drive around for a living as is.
Yeah, I pretty much work with a lot of different entrepreneurs or business owners per se, because everyone's different, right? I get a lot of people telling me, like, mentioning Uber Lyft. Obviously, we're in Las Vegas, right? There's a lot of that stuff going on here, or Uber Eats. There's also actually been like, I'm sure you know of like Turo, where they actually rent out the cars. For
I have a friend that has.
Yeah,
he did a bunch of credit as well, where what do you call it? He did the credit thing and he got a bunch of cars. But I feel like he's kind of like an employee these days of himself. Right? He's moving the cars around, he's cleaning them, he's getting them ready, he's starting them up. I mean, he created himself a job. Haven't spoken to him a little bit, but I'm sorry I interrupted you, but tell me what you were going to say.
So usually with these lines of credit, they get the cars, right? They have these employees with them, obviously, because now they have capital, right? So it depends on how much they're going to need. If their game plans, even like you said, nothing's guaranteed, right? I can get you capital, but your business still might fail, right? It just depends on the obviously the CEO or the plan of action that they created as well.
So with the Turo guys, what are they doing? How many cars are they buying?
Usually they buy like about 5 or 6 cars, and then they're using that because obviously they use line of capital, right? You have to pay it back, but the whole point is that you have 0 interest, so it's not catching any interest. It's not showing up on the personal profile, because guess what? The way that we got even you guys line of credit in the first place, or my clients per se, we use the profile, credit profile, and the LLC. I didn't use any proof of income, no W-2s, or no tax statements. I'm just leveraging your profile and the LLC. And it could literally just be a day old. And that's how I'm getting these approvals.
Do you like that Turo concept for a business, or the people that you know of, are they doing well?
Most of my clients, I would say, are doing very actually well. I created actually 6 figures just this year from 6 different companies. So I would say a lot of them that I'm working with are doing very well. But also depends also on the person as well, right? Because I can't say that for everybody, right? I can get somebody capital, but sometimes
they're not able to pull.
They're not able to pull through with it, or they don't have actually a plan action.
Do most of these people? I guess the cars are always coming and going, right? The cars are they're not at their home, right? Because they're moving them around.
Yeah.
But I guess they may have a car, right, when it's not being used.
Yeah.
But the question is, where do they have room for these cars?
Where would they have rooms for these cars?
Yeah, I mean, like, well, I was just thinking, like, in my community, it's the HOA.
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to park a car in the street. And I basically have like 3 cars in the driveway. So where do you know where these people are parking? I know it's an unusual question. But
no, I don't. No, I don't know.
I'm just thinking, like, I had 5, 6 cars. Like, where would I put them?
Yeah.
But I do like the concept. I'm always like thinking business wise in general, like to help people. Like I always say, like, I guess the first thing I'm always saying is Uber Lyft. It's the first thing I think of these days. In the future, it won't be here. Turo, this one guy I have, I don't know how well he's doing. Haven't spoken in a while, but he did make the full commitment to doing it.
Yeah.
What other businesses do you find that you can help?
Almost anything, because like obviously mostly.
Give me some examples, like something different. Okay, so you mentioned Airbnb.
Yeah.
How? Okay, so I want to tell me. This is great. From your experience, what do I need to do? You help me getting capital. Give me like a scenario of your normal person. Like I get with you, we set up an LLC, we set up some cards, and now I have how much? 50 grand, 100 grand? What's the average? Like, tell me what you can do for me right now. Like, make believe I'm the guinea pig. What can you do for me to help me?
Well, let's say if you're coming to me with bad credit, right? Obviously, I would look at your profile, see where you're at, and how I can help you. I'll meet you where you're at.
Let's say you get me the credit up. I'm at 700 now. 700, okay? Okay, I'm at 700 right now. I want to go to you with your experience, your knowledge. You know people that got Turo, different things. Tell me what other businesses I can do.
Yeah, you can do Airbnb, drop shipping, e-commerce. Obviously, real estate investors is another big one I've been running into. You can also do Amazon. I met
Okay.
a couple people that do
So let's
Amazon
go
as well.
back to Airbnb. How does that play out? Because Airbnb, you need the house.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go buy a home.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, I got to go buy a home, go get a mortgage to buy that home to acquire it.
Mm.
What am I missing in regards to you? Because you're smiling, so it must mean that this other strategy. Am I buying the home differently?
So I'm not Airbnb like expertise
Okay.
in that field, but to answer your question, the way that I would do it is that you know that for these Airbnbs they have to decorate them, they need to buy everything else as well, and then they also need to make it look nice, right? You would come to me for this line of credit. Let's say they need at least $50,000.
Okay.
Okay. I get them the $50,000. They buy the furniture, they buy the beds, the mattresses, all the decor, and then guess what? You got to promote it. You'd use that to pay a camera guy or a video per se or drone guy, and obviously make your Airbnb look
Got
nice,
it.
make it look presentable.
So I would get with you in regards to the capital to make it look nice, but to acquire the home, it's a different situation.
It's a wholly different situation.
Okay. Are you familiar with that thing called arbitrage?
I am.
But arbitrage is what exactly? Is that you taking over a home
Mhm.
that someone else owns?
Exactly.
And I don't know why it's called arbitrage. I never really looked up that word. So you're taking over someone
yeah.
else's home that they own it, and then you're in your lease. It allows you to do Airbnb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell me your knowledge about that.
So my knowledge about that is that it's pretty much like kind of like how you just said, right? They acquire somebody else's home, they write it down on a lease, and they actually would actually start making capital off of it, right? Because these homes, like more of these arbitrages, are not being used. That's where the Airbnbs are coming in, and they're taking over these contracts per se for them, right? They split the profit with these arbitrages, or they take over the payments.
Okay.
That's usually the gist of it. That's how it goes.
What So I guess technically they would get with you for the capital to make it look nice in general.
Make it look nice, or
Because they could,
not
they could
using their own
they could
profit.
lease the place,
Mm.
and now they have to fix the place up. So your
Yeah.
big thing with the Airbnb or with the housing is to make it Airbnb is to get in the capital to basically set it up for Airbnb.
Mhm.
It just seems like there's a lot of issues with getting it set up. The only thing that's good, arbitrage I think is only legal in certain states, right? Like I don't know why someone I met with was Texas or
Yeah.
I don't even know. You familiar with the?
Not too many states. I know that here it's very hard to obviously get approved for an Airbnb here, just because they're trying to protect the casinos. I know that there's one guy I met that was getting kind of taxed here in Nevada because he had 14 Airbnbs here. So it's very hard to get it here, but if you get approved, you're actually doing very well, for what I could say. But I know in different states it is. Some will call it, illegal, or they will call it fraud.
I guess the biggest thing is if you're leasing and they have understanding that you're going to Airbnb it.
Mm.
I think that's the whole purpose.
That's mostly the whole purpose.
As well as they know, but
Yeah.
if they leased it and then they Airbnb it, then maybe it's illegal in certain places. I've never really looked into.
Yeah, I
don't
don't
say
really.
the word or people say how to do it.
Yeah.
Somehow Texas in my mind, or maybe you could do it in Texas.
Yeah. I mean, you can do Airbnbs almost anywhere, but the whole point is that depends on where the city and state, obviously, legislations where you're at. It just depends on the higher ups that are there as well, because they are aware that you're doing Airbnb, and also the neighbors.
It seems like it would be more difficult to get. I'm just curious if I go to ChatGPT to see what it says. Now everything's ChatGPT.
Let's use ChatGPT.
Let's say what states. Maybe we have to hook up to the Wi-Fi. Are you there?
I'm here. It sounds like you were diving into some really detailed credit repair strategies. If you need any more info or have any other questions, just let me know.
My question is, we're talking about Airbnb and arbitrage. I don't really understand arbitrage and what states are they legal and illegal in. Is it legal in Vegas?
Airbnb arbitrage is when you rent a property as a tenant and then sublet it on Airbnb to make a profit. It's generally legal, but it depends heavily on local regulations and the terms of your lease. In Las Vegas, for example, short-term rentals are allowed, but you do need a license. And there are some zoning restrictions and other regulations to follow. Always a good idea to check the local laws and make sure your landlord is on board if you're renting.
Is there a list of states that arbitrage is illegal?
Rental arbitrage itself is legal in all
Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, so we got arbitrage. We got money for basically fixing places up. We got money for if you want to go buy, let's say, a car to do Airbnb or Uber,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Which is a business.
Or
I guess
Turo.
any type of capital, Turo. So if you want to do a business where you're renting cars,
Also, we're barbers.
barbers.
Yeah.
Tell me.
So I know
Barbershop?
you probably didn't know this about me. I used to be a barber way before I started.
Where were you a barber at?
I actually wasn't licensed,
Okay.
so I was cutting illegally. But I went to Masterpiece Barber School.
Is that the one by Pecos?
It is. That is
Okay.
the one. So when I was cutting hair, I was
How many years
learning.
ago did you go? How many
What?
years? How many years back did you go for school?
That was like 2 years ago.
Do you know the guy Dana? Dana he did barber school. He was in barber school.
Dana, probably not.
He would
I probably
actually
need to
go
see
out
your
and like
face.
help homeless people
Yeah.
cut their hair and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Who's this guy
yeah.
that I
We
know?
do it like so. Pretty much like
Did you finish that or you didn't finish?
I dropped out actually. There's a
Okay.
reason why I dropped out. I was learning this.
Okay.
So I realized that this was my IQ in when I was barber school. So I realized that I was surrounded by 1099 workers, which is what I was, right? That need LLCs, credit repair, and capital. The reason why they need credit is so they could get approved for these spots, the leases, if they want to own a shop one day. So in my head, I was like, why am I cutting hair for only $10 an hour, $15 an hour at school at least? Because I wouldn't get paid. I was in school. The shop would get paid, the school. Right? So then I realized like I'm gonna be behind the chair. I need to be clocked in every day. I need to show up just to make money. Why not just be clocked in all day and I can travel anywhere where I want, make money the way I want? And I realized when I looked at these barbers, tattoo artists came into my mind, eyelash cosmetologists came into my mind, and nail techs. So I realized that I can fix their credit, get them LLCs, help them open up a spot, help them get the furniture, the chairs, the lease, and almost anything that they
Okay.
need.
So the capital for that. But don't you find it's hard for a lot of these barbers that are, it seems like they're struggling or they're new. They're lucky that they're able to pay for the school. And then I guess you're getting them credit, right?
Mhm.
So as long as you're getting them credit and you know have a credit game, then you can get them started.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's really, truly amazing. I mean, honestly, it's a special gift if you're really, truly able to do it. I mean, everyone that wants a barbershop, right? As long as you, the problem with it is, what I always tell people too is that I love marketing, is that no matter who you are, marketing is and media is your business.
Mhm.
So basically, if you're a barber, you have to be marketing a media agency, and the service you provide is the barbershop.
Mhm.
If you're doing Turo, fine, maybe it's a different platform because you're putting that, your cars on the platform.
Mhm.
But most people, you have to advertise your service. You are a media company first.
Mhm.
If you're a podcast studio, it's great that you have this great studio with equipment, but if nobody knows you're out there, if you're not marketing, you're not a media company for your company, then basically no one's going to be here.
Exactly.
So I always believe that media comes first, but it's great that you get the capital, but a lot of people don't even know how to run a business.
Mhm.
Maybe it's different, right? As a barber, right? You start out first by yourself. It gets busier, right? You rent out a second chair, things like that.
Mhm.
But people need to know who you are. But I guess these days, right, if in the local area, right, you put in barbershop, maybe it's a little bit easier.
I mean, here's what a lot of barber owners would do. They would go to the schools.
They'll go to the schools?
There's a lot of barber schools over here in Vegas.
Okay.
A lot of these barber owners that own these shops would come to the schools and be like, hey, right when you graduate, come into my shop. Start passing out the cards. Right? That's how you're recruiting.
Oh, so
different people
you're
to the chairs.
recruiting new people to come to the chairs.
Exactly.
But normally you're charging for the chair.
Yeah, that would be the owner. Yep.
Got it.
Yeah.
But the good thing about you is that you can get them set up to have capital so they can just set up shop.
Set up shop, exactly.
I guess-
But
I
also
guess-
it depends on like you said, not everybody is a born leader of a shop. Not everyone is like a CEO of the shop, right? So they need some time in that shop that they're getting recruited to just to even.
But if
be
you
at
go to a
that
shop right now and
so-
I need, let's say I'm dead broke. I go to barber school and I'm dead broke and I come out. You help me with credit repair. You help me get capital. Then at least I can somehow get money to put for the first month and security deposit down to rent a location to put up a barbershop, right?
Mhm.
So it can be done.
It can be done. Absolutely. Anybody?
So do you go now to the barbershops and tell them what you do?
No, they're not really my target.
Okay.
I don't really go into because a lot of them, guess what? They're 17, 18-year-olds, barely
Yeah.
even cutting hair, or they have experience cutting.
But if you taught them what you're saying,
I have walked into some barbershops, told them I do LLCs because they all need LLCs, right? They need the write-offs.
they look at you like you're crazy.
No, not really. I mean, I usually say like I started as a barber, but I dropped out, and then they're like, "Why'd you drop out?" I'm like, "Well, I make more money doing this."
Got it. You know, it's actually interesting when you say that. I'm just thinking, I'm sure you make money different ways, but it's funny if you actually help these barbershop guys with the business in general and made a percentage. Like there's some people I know where they do like the billing, medical billing, and they make, let's say, 10-15% of the medical billing of the doctor's office. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So imagine if you have 10 doctor's offices and you're doing the billing and you know what you're doing, then it's like you having 10 different businesses.
Yeah.
So you can have 20, 30 different barbershops. I know it's more difficult with barbershops in general, and maybe they are younger, you know, and a lot of it's cash business and stuff. But these days, I went to a barbershop one day. I'm like, oh, let me test out this area. The guy's like $65 for a haircut.
Yeah.
Like, and if I'm going once a week, now I will share with you. I normally go to Great Clips these days. It was cheaper, but I like to go weekly. And the truth is, there's not much with my hair, right? I'm just doing like sides, right?
Yeah.
And just to keep it clean, right? But to go to a place for like $65, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But they're charging a lot more these days.
Mhm.
If I go to Great Clips, I think right now it's $19, which actually is more expensive than it was back in the day. It used to be like $12, $14. I don't know where you can go these days that cheap because
the schools.
the schools
Schools are cheapest, but it's hit or miss because they're barely starting off.
of who you have, in general. Okay, so we got Turo, we got Airbnb, we got real estate, we got money for basically any type of new business, capital wise, helping you with your credit, getting you money basically for setting up another business. What else am I missing? Merchant services,
Merchant
terminals. So I keep seeing things pop up on my. I see the one device which seems cool, that Clover.
Yeah.
It's like a white device. It seems kind of cool at that. What's the coolest program that's out there that you have or equipment? Is it all accessible or?
Yeah, it's all accessible. It's for anybody. That depends obviously on the owner, like how they want it structured and stuff like that. But the great thing about my terminals is they're not like the standard terminal per se, right? David, do you have like any shops or anything like that? Like you sell like any clothes or?
I don't.
No. Okay, so I'm gonna use you for example. Let's say you own a t-shirt shop, customized t-shirt like this. You made me this shirt. It's like $100 a shirt. Okay. How are you taking payments? Usually through a terminal or through a Stripe link or an invoice, right? Now, let's say I paid you through card. The shirt's $100. The standard terminal, you know that you have to pay a processing fee, correct? $3.50 surcharge usually or more.
Like 3.5%, right?
Yeah. So that's usually taking about $3.50 out of every single time that I swipe my card. You lose like $3.50.
Okay.
Now my terminal is a little more different. I'm sure you're familiar with Paul Alex, correct?
Which one?
Paul Alex?
No, I have not.
Never heard of him? No. He's the owner of Cash Swipe.
Cash Swipe. Okay.
So what I did is I realized that I'm in a business that's a very drip and needing business that you need credit, you need capital, and you need terminals. You need to collect money. Okay. So my terminal, which is from Paul Alex and Cash Swipe, I flipped that actually, the processing fee.
Where they're paying for it.
Where the client is paying for their own transaction. So guess what? That business is no longer losing that $3.50
I think I
surcharge.
see that normally they're saying that if you're using a card, right? Is that a new trend? Is that what's going on? I mean, I've seen that in certain places.
Yeah, it is a new trend, but I mean, a lot of the dealerships are doing it even now, the DMVs.
So what do we call the fee?
Processing fee.
So basically, I'm paying the processing fee.
A standard terminal, you would usually pay, the business is usually paying for the processing fee. With my terminal, it's called a cash discount program. It goes flipped to the consumer that's paying with their own. They're paying.
So what does it say on the thing? It's saying $100 for the item, and then what does it say? What's the line item?
Now the total, the processing fee, or just in general, the total price now is going to be $103.50. But guess what? The business now keeps 100% cash or card now.
I'm sorry, say this one more time. It's called cash
Discount program.
Cash discount program. So it says cash discount program and then a fee, but it's only if you use cash. You would save the money.
Yeah.
But why, if you think, why are you calling it a cash discount fee? Because you're charging that money.
There's
it's a way of saying, hey, if you pay cash, you don't have to pay this fee.
You know why? Because almost everything is like not. I'm sure you're aware that not everybody's paying in cash nowadays, right? They're paying in card.
They're paying in card. Well, what happens when they're paying with like Zelle or they're paying with Cash App, right?
Well, it's not a debit card, so there's no fee. Apple Pay.
So Apple Pay.
Actually,
it's funny you bring this up because I feel like I'm out of the loop.
Yeah.
Cash. What would I say that? Cash App.
Cash App, Apple Pay,
Zelle, Venmo. There's
PayPal.
no fees on the most part. Oh, so there's no fees if you do it that way.
But a lot of the standard terminals, they don't accept that, so they have to.
Someone was saying that with the IRS now that they're going to be looking at all those transactions to see that if there's profit. I think it's already been going on, but I really haven't played with it.
Yeah,
But a lot of times you're
going on.
sharing money with different people. How do you really know it's for business?
Well,
I
on the
haven't-
terminal usually it's already activated.
So long story short, are all your transactions like this now? I mean, you're basically educating people like, hey, why should you pay the fee? Put it back onto the consumer. If not, let them pay cash.
Yeah.
Or let them use Cash App, Venmo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's same thing with Clover. Like there's a lot of machines where you can just put your phone on it and accept payments.
I played with it a little bit, but it's weird. Like, I feel like I'm in a different world these days. I'm like, because that's actually funny with me. I don't know why. And maybe you can help explain this one to me.
Yeah.
If someone wanted to move money, I've been using Cash App, and maybe because I think it's like more user friendly. So some people say, can you Zelle? Now, I don't have the Zelle app. I have to go through my bank.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I need the Zelle app in order to send money.
No, it's
than
through the bank. No, you can do it.
But you know what's interesting about Cash App? I like Cash App because I feel like I'm sending money, but I don't really see my bank account together. It's separate.
Mm-hmm.
But if I use my bank account and do Zelle, I see my balances. What do you use? If you Zelle something, are you going to your bank account?
It's on my bank already. Yeah.
So you're going to Chase, so you're going to go to that app.
Yeah.
But Cash App, you're just sending money, but you don't know how much money is in your bank account.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why. Sometimes you like certain things, you get used to certain things. Like, give an example, like Lyft and Uber.
Mm-hmm.
I always like Lyft because I feel like it's friendlier to the eye, the way that the app is set up.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like prettier looking, or it seems
Right.
more modern.
Yeah.
With Uber, it seems more like, I'm about to say systematic or more business. It doesn't seem like fun,
Mm-hmm.
which is
I don't
interesting.
really use Lyft or Uber,
Okay.
but yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Like it's more revealing to the eye. It's more, I would say, more
something about it.
susceptible to it.
Like
Yeah.
it's more like, I don't know. It's weird psychologically. Maybe it's the colors, like it's the pink and white that's for some reason in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd rather go to a Lyft app
Mm.
than an Uber app for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I asked some cities, I was in Colorado once, and they said everybody uses Lyft.
Really?
Where maybe in Vegas, it's more Uber. Like, why
Yeah.
would it be? Because maybe they're marketing it more. I don't really fully know. What do you take on that? I know you don't use it, but like, why would Colorado be more all Lyft people? You have to drive. It's like, oh, everybody in Colorado uses Lyft. Maybe it's just advertised more. Or maybe that city was
Also,
more of a
I would
startup.
say it's probably also the prices as well. Because I've met a couple friends that say like, oh, let's see the price of Uber and let's see the price of Lyft, and they just compare like right away.
Oh, look, compare the pricing?
Yeah, and then they go with the cheapest one.
You know, I haven't done that, but I've heard people do that too, and probably does make financial sense.
Yeah.
Because some could be $5 cheaper, right? It could be
Yeah,
$5
usually
cheaper.
$5 or $10 cheaper, or it could be 15.
Okay.
So.
I think I cut you off with something. You were saying, oh, credit card, Clover. So you use Clover?
I use Clover, Deja, or different.
So the
different
best one you
machines.
like, which one is it?
I like Clover.
Tell me why you like Clover.
I like Clover because it's like you said, like Uber, Lyft. It's more revealing to the eye. It's more susceptible.
Because of the white, like
the
white box thing?
big old thing, and it's a big old tap thing, and they can see it.
And how do the other ones look? Different?
Usually look like just a regular standard terminal. Just depends on.
It seems like high tech, right? It's
Yeah.
like a white, modern,
Yeah, it's white.
laminated box, right?
Yeah.
It almost seems user friendly. You want to use it.
Exactly.
Like when it's and that, I think that's the way of doing it too. Is that somehow you have to get away from the fact that you're spending money, and it becomes an experience. Even the box itself.
Yeah.
Which sounds crazy. Like it really is. It just seems kind of fun.
Yeah, exactly. So the way that I would kind of explain this is that if you have Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, or Kick, or whatever type of, or TikTok, they're going to pick something that's more susceptible to the eye. Obviously, the colors are going to make you pick it, but also the experience is going to make you pick it. Most likely, they're going to pick either Snapchat or Instagram or TikTok out of those.
Since you're younger than me, these days, if you had to put the top 3 out there for social media, what would it be like when you go online in the morning? Are you going to Instagram first? Do you go to LinkedIn? Like, what social media platforms do you use?
I use almost all of them. I use LinkedIn. I use Facebook and TikTok.
Instagram
as well. Instagram is actually where I get a lot of my leads or my business per se. But
So,
also, I have a great affiliate marketing.
Affiliate marketing with
Clients that work with me. They
Okay.
actually promote my stuff. They promote my business. They actually leverage me
on
all my services
but you say on Instagram.
on Instagram.
All right, we'll talk about that one second. So if you go online, if you wake up in the morning, what's the first social media platform you would go to?
Usually Instagram,
So you go to Instagram first, and then second,
Facebook,
and then third.
TikTok.
Okay. It's actually funny because people these days keep saying that you should be like Instagram first, maybe second TikTok, and third Facebook, depending upon generation.
Mhm.
Personally, I always wake up, I go to Facebook first because I think it's just generational.
Mhm.
And like I said, I'm 49, but I think it's just it's hard for me to go to Instagram first. I do that,
Mhm.
I feel like I know Facebook more, or also because of business, I'm always using the Facebook groups.
Mhm.
So I make a post, I could just click on groups and know that I can put it into like 40, 50 groups and
Mhm.
get more views. Not that I would say automatically it's made more business, but you're getting more awareness.
You're getting more
from it.
eyes on you.
Yeah. And Instagram doesn't have those groups.
Mm-hmm.
So like my wife is Persian.
They
we have a
have
Persian
they
group.
have like channels. So if people join your channels and they see what you're doing, then yeah.
I haven't really played that. I need to do more. The problem is it's like you got to just sit down and like focus and just learn all these
Yeah.
different things. Just like I mentioned, the text message feature.
Yep.
And I know any features that are on the phone that you don't even know about. So okay, so you use all these features. You use LinkedIn as well.
Not very very savvy in it, but I post different stuff there.
Okay. So tell me with LinkedIn. So you have an affiliate program where basically if someone wants to, would you say white label or not white label, just help you bring in business and they make money.
Mhm.
How does that work? So I go. You must have some box where they fill out their affiliate. I give my name and information, and then what do I do? I start posting.
Start
How's it work?
promoting my stuff that I already have on there.
Okay.
You just post it, get more eyes, say you're working with me.
Are you working with There's companies like that do that.
Mhm.
How do you find those people? Because I know there's companies that are influencing companies online.
How do I find these people, or
Yeah.
how do they find me?
Either one.
So they find me just because I just say I'm hiring for affiliate marketers,
Okay.
people that want to promote my stuff. Any single deal that I bring in that's from you, you get 30% of the deal.
Okay. So basically, you're online saying, "Hey, I'm Alex. I'm looking for affiliate marketers. I basically run merchant services, business development. What do
Business
you say?
funding, credit, or
And
anything
if you
like that.
basically want to work with me, then split money.
Yeah.
And there's
Because
no
you know what that is. I'm getting more eyes.
Sure.
I'm
No,
getting more leads.
I always love affiliate marketing. I've never been successful with it. Like, and I'll give you an example. Back in the day, when I say affiliate marketing, it's also multi-level marketing.
Mhm.
But back in the day, there was like XL Communications, there was ACN, there was telephone companies. So things have changed. Then there was basically mortgage and real estate, Legal Shield, which is another one, basically like prepaid legal, which they changed the names as well. All these things are basically like multi-level marketing, affiliate marketing. I think it's all the same thing. You're marketing a company, you're making money back. With the Legal Shield, I believe it's more membership based. You're selling a membership. So, do you have a lot of people like that?
I have a lot of different affiliates in different spaces in business and also just over social media.
Okay.
I would say social platforms. But I'm gonna be honest, the way I first started was I was traveling a lot with another entrepreneur. His name's Dylan Rosner. He's
Okay.
actually the head owner of Nevada Entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So we were traveling from Nevada to Reno, Arizona, San Diego, Utah, and we were throwing events. That is where it first started. Then we started building my own brand. I started building my own thing, branching on my own and creating my own little group chats, my own channels. Started telling them what I was doing. They would see the results every day. They can't say it's a scam or it's something like that. No. I get results consistently. I get results daily, and I show it in the face. So what they started doing is I was like, hey, if you want to start promoting my stuff, obviously when you bring them to me, I'm gonna ask them, who sent you? Did you come on your own? So obviously that's only mine, or did you come from somebody else? And they're gonna tell me. Okay, cool. Now I know who to pay out. So if I charge them, a certain total amount, let's say it's like 1,000, they would get 300. They would get 30% of that total amount.
No, I think affiliate marketing is great. I think it's hard to find people in general just to be pumped up to do it in general. I do mention it with some of the things I do that I'm looking for affiliate marketers, or there's different systems with it in general.
What's great about also just affiliate marketing is that I have my hand in almost every single business that's just around in general. I work with insurance agents that do home life and auto insurance. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, Daniel. You are aware that they look at your credit report for anything, correct?
For insurance companies.
Yep.
But there's a different score than for insurance and for your credit repair, from what I'm being told. Like your insurance score is different.
Yeah.
Than your regular credit score, correct?
Mm-hmm. But here's like where I come in. They will reject clients that have bad scores. They won't sign them up for a life insurance policy.
For life insurance.
Life,
Because
auto, or
they're
home.
considered risky.
Considered risky.
Mm-hmm.
You look like you don't pay your bills. Why would we protect you and your family per se?
Mm-hmm.
What if you're not even going to pay us? Jobs. We'll also look at your report. It's not going to hurt your credit, but they will look at your credit report. Also, I'm not sure if you're aware, obviously auto dealerships will look at your credit, but also insurance, car insurance will also look at your credit as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you have bad credit and you're getting approved for a car payment, you're going to have a really high car payment, and then you're going to have a really high car insurance payment as well.
No, it's weird. They talked about it years ago that basically that they wanted to get rid of credit and credit in general and do something different, a new system. You familiar with that new system that they wanted to use?
Nope, not that I'm
We
aware
talked
of.
about it. I mean, but this has been around forever. This credit scores and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what I wanted to basically do with you was as a little bit of a guinea pig. My credit score basically is like a 700.
Okay.
My wife's higher in general. We just wanted to go buy a car.
Yes.
But I guess it's different also when she's, let's say, W-2, I'm 1099, things that come and play a role with the interest rate. And then when I purchased a car before, it was a Chevy, it was 0% interest, maybe because it was like the new year was upon us, and it was like the car was a year older. It was last year's model, but new. So there was a 0% interest rate through Chevy. Now we went to go buy a car, and it was 4.99 with hers. Mine was a little bit higher because she was W-2, which is more, like maybe reliable. That's her income, where mine was 1099, or I'm a retired cop, stuff like that. So we used hers. But it was interesting because they said if you get gap insurance, then you can do like extra months with no extra, with the interest rate not going up higher or lower, plays with the terms. And then they said I can get 4.49%, which is 0.5% less if I did it within 36 months. But it's such a game in regards to the terms and the interest and higher and lower. But 4.9 and 4.1 is reasonable. For people would even say good. But credit is really high. I mean, the interest rate is really high these days for used and new cars. A lot of times it can be 6, 7, 5.5%, 8%, right? It just depends. And it really does eat away, because you're talking about, it does add up big time.
Yeah.
And I actually worked on buying this new car. I saved about $7,000 for everything that I did, which was a good deal. But the $7,000, it took a lot of time. I worked on it, I won different cars and trying to make the best decision for the family. But it's a $7,000 plus the interest rate over 48 months. So it really is a big deal. So the credit's really important. Your score is really important. You're buying a car. The interest rate then also changes your debt to income ratio, or how much money that you're getting more a month. Like it really could be that if you had the lower interest rate, you may be saving $150, $200 a month.
Yeah.
Which means that if you want to go buy a home, you can get more home, So it's just such a big deal. I will say most people, I think, that procrastinate, whether it's credit repair or buying a car, right? Like getting a loan because we know that we have something going on in life that basically it's not a perfect situation. Your credit score is not perfect. What I like to do as a guinea pig, which I think this would be really good because a lot of people that know me in general in the community, and I always tell people that they can Google my name, click on images, click on videos, and I always say I don't really care. I'm not vain, but my goal basically is to help people. But I like that people can search me online because they basically see who I am. But what I want to do is my credit score, is good, could be better, I guess, in general, always better depending on what you're doing in your life.
It's not the score, it's the profile.
So what I want to do is, this will be like it's kind of like a little documentary that we're going to kind of do is talking about credit repair. You take my credit, you work on it. How many days you need where you come back basically, and we'll basically show like I'm a guinea pig, a real life person, right? 'Cause a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, who knows? It's his friend that he get credit,"
Oh,
so
definitely not. I make testimonials.
So you'll do mine, and then how many days do you need to show that it's better?
So by law, you need 30 to 45 days.
Okay.
I can't beat that. I can't say anything
So
about
we need
that.
90 days from now.
Pretty much 90 days. I mean, you gave me like 2 months, pretty much 3 months.
So I would say, as of today, pull my credit, whatever you do, we'll figure that out. Give it 90 days, and then let's show
Everybody,
our viewers. And then it'll be easier for me to get you referrals specifically, especially if I could say, like, look, he did it. Here's the proof. Because I'll be honest with you, a lot of people out there, like, you always meet people, and they'll say, oh, I got a credit guy, but he wasn't good, and he didn't do this, he didn't do that. And that's the hard part. Is like, who do you really trust?
Yeah.
But then over 90 days, they could have screwed things up, right? They could have purchased a car. They could have went bankruptcy.
Yeah, it's that's why I said at the very beginning,
It's
it's
a team effort.
expectation. It's a very expectation thing. I set the standard way before they even start.
Okay.
So I would like to show you an example. Obviously off this podcast, I got 68 deletions in one round.
68
Deletions.
Okay.
In round one.
How much did it raise the? But they also can come back some of them, right?
Here's where I'm gonna cook up. I got 68 deletions in one round. You would say I did a very great job until you looked at the score.
Okay.
He was still in the 400s. Do you know why?
68 deletions, and he still was in the 400s. Because his credit was still too, the debt to income ratio was too high.
He just didn't pay down his cards, which is exactly utilization.
Got it. So you had to pay down the cards, plus you did the work. It's like going to the gym together. Like you're the coach, but it's a team effort.
Yeah.
So he was supposed to pay it down, even though
He didn't do it.
So paying down is key, along with it as well.
I'm going to tell you the 5 factors of credit. Okay. 35% is payment history. You have one late payment, it's going to go down. Okay. 30% is utilization. 15% is age. And then the next 10% is it's called credit mix. Credit mix is like loans, mortgages, car payments as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's credit mix. New credit is increase. What are you applying for? If I wiped away all his increase, which is 10%, I fixed his payment history because I'm removing late payments and collections. The 30%, the utilization is where he didn't go down.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do his part. Because what is the expectation that I set for all my clients? Pay down your cards, no more increase, so don't apply for anything while I'm fixing it, because then you're just confirming what they already are seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, no more late payments.
You know, it just made me realize there's a new office that I'm be working with on July 1st, and I just realized that they don't have credit repair there, and I think that's where you can come into play, because they basically have everything. They're like licensed document preparation people, and on the building basically they have pretty much everything. And I was thinking, what do they not have? They don't have real estate, they don't have mortgages, they don't have credit repair, and lines of credit.
Which is everything that I do.
That's why I always love. You know, it's interesting. I always tell people when a lot of people do Zoom. And you kind of a Zoom guy, I could tell because you send the text messages. I never like doing Zoom because at least with me, I feel like we're talking right now. I would not get this stuff off the Zoom, like because we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
And that's what I always mean when I meet people for lunch. Like a lot of times you meet people. Like if I sat in we were in an office together. Like it'd be weird probably after 15, 20 minutes. Like what do you talk about? Like here it's different. We're in a podcast setting, so we're getting more deeper into conversation.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have creative thoughts and I interview people for a living. But my main thing is I'm like, wow, like that really comes into play. I would not have gotten that. I feel if I was in a Zoom call because it's very like back and forth, you know. Now I do agree with certain people with timing if you're busy and in general, but like I feel like I totally got that. Like now I'm thinking, okay, credit repair, line of credit, and
merchant services,
and
business. Yeah,
those three are not there, and those are extra services that can be provided there. So I'm actually glad that we just came up with that because there's so many things on there, and these are things that are not part of the place, and I want to make sure that it's successful. So I think that's actually great. I'm really glad that kind of came up with that. And I guess you let me know if there's anything else. But I mean, how many things can you put on the building?
It just depends. I I leverage different services. I have my hand in almost every single field. I'm even working with I work with Vivid as well.
With who?
Vivid Security.
Oh, with the systems, alarm systems.
Yeah. You know why? Because they need. I'm going to tell you who I work with as of right now. I work with solar managers because I'm sure you're aware solar is a really big thing here, at least in the United States, and also it was in Nevada at one point. I was doing solar as well as I was doing barber school, and I was learning this. The reason why I started this company, it was because I was knocking on doors. You'd be surprised how many people do not have a 650 for a credit score, for a soft credit check. I already did the hard part of knocking in the sun all day, getting into the home, presenting them the whole thing. They wanted to do it. Let's see if you have a 650. I would not get paid because they didn't have a 650.
That's a good question. How do you figure out the credit score of the people before you get to that door? Yeah. You're not going to know those doors. You're not going to mapped out.
You're not going to know. You have to literally obviously sit down with them. They have to agree with it, right? And then you're like, okay, what's your score?
Oh, you have to agree with that person.
They have to agree with the system and the price, obviously, right? For the solar.
Before you do a credit check, or like you ran their name to a title company, and you were able to check their credit score,
Mm-hmm.
which normally you need approval for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's ways around that. Isn't there like a soft profile? Like if you give a name, it's a lot of work. But I think with AI these days, it'd be very interesting because I can see in the future to be a map, and you'll so the yellow like a yellow home would be like credit score is like possibly 650,
Mm-hmm.
maybe possible.
It depends. We didn't have that, so you just had to knock on doors, right? So after you
could've
did all
wasted-
that,
you could have wasted a lot of time.
you could have wasted a lot of time.
So 650 and above is in order to basically get the
Solar.
solar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or now it's a lot more different now. So it was a soft check. Now for just to even get approved for like even solar in general, like for a loan or cash, you need at least a 600. Okay, people had that. They didn't have a 650 though.
Before you leave, I gotta write this stuff down. We got solar, which I'm affiliated with someone with solar, but
Yeah.
we'll work together that one. So solar, merchant services, credit repair,
Business funding,
business funding,
merchant.
and merchant. That's 5 there.
So I work with solar companies. I work with car salesmen. Like I'm Beyonce. I went up to just Sahara. I'm like, hey, how many bad credit clients do you get that don't want the high car payment? Like, okay, they're like maybe like 5 or 6. Okay. In my head, I'm like, okay, you're missing out on 5 or 6 clients a month. How much is that like your money wise that you're missing out on? They think about it, it'd be like 10,000 or 15,000. Okay. In my head, I'm like, okay, so you have a problem. You don't have a problem with clients coming up to you. You have a clients being qualified.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how I can help. Say you're a car salesman, Daniel or David. I can help you get these clients approved. Send them right back to you in 2 to 3 months, 4 months. Also depends on the
To buy a
person.
car.
To buy a car, send them right back to you. You get paid.
But who's paying the credit repair? The client.
The client would be, right? But also, I'm breaking bread with these car salesmen and be like, hey, you send it to me, I'll give you 10, 20, 30% of the deal. So not only are you getting paid for referrals, I'm helping you get paid on deals that you would have missed out on in the first place. It's a win-win. You can't lose. Now, if that guy doesn't want to send me clients,
You know what's not bad if you could do it. I mean, every place is different. That you like in order for them to come back, you say like, look, it's how much is the average credit repair? Would you say?
I'm glad you asked that question. You know why? Because I'm glad I'm even looking at the camera. I don't have upfront prices. You know why?
Because you have to look at their profile to see how much work.
Exactly.
If you had a rough estimate, average, what's the middle down the line?
The middle?
Yeah, I'll just make it. I'll make up a number. Let's just say it was $1,000. It'd be interesting if the car dealership guy said like, look, well, you know, and actually, the problem is you want that guy to go back to that salesperson if you're the salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow you have to say like, I'll take $1,000 off the car. You're gonna pay $1,000 to the credit repair guy. When you come back to me, I will take off $1,000 from the car. Now you're probably able to do that if it's a new car sales, but if it's a used car sales, it may be a little bit different.
Yeah, it's a little more different. It just
Or
depends.
I'll give you $500. You know, I'll
Yeah.
give you half back because they're playing with it anyway in regards to financing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah.
but that's a good way of getting them back, and then you have them agree. Say, look, if I do my credit repair and I come back, I'll get $1,000 certificate off the car. So basically, it's even. It's a win-win
It
situation.
just depends on, obviously, like you said, the car salesman, but also me. I'm also giving them a solution to get paid. So I work with mortgage lenders as well. I help them even get these deals that wouldn't get approved in the first place. I work with a lot of mortgage lenders. I also work with a lot of real estate agents as well. Then I work with security teams, solar teams. It doesn't matter who it is. I can work with anybody. The truth is anybody can have a 700 plus credit score. Just not everybody is willing to invest in it.
No, it's a good point. Like even myself, like honestly, it's been many years because I've purchased homes and I'm just not really using it per se.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really something you really like. It's kind of like your health card, like a report card. You really need to basically like be on top of it every year. Where am I at with it? I feel bad, and I think it's one of the things I procrastinate because I'm just like I'm not buying anything right now, or I haven't bought a new car in a while.
Yeah.
But you really have to be up on your game every single year, which is, I think is one of the problems that we can solve for today. Is that your financial credit score is kind of like your health record for your financial
It opens up
background,
doors.
just like your health. You should go to the doctor every single.
Yep.
Make sure your health is good. Make sure you're taking vitamins.
I'm
nutrients.
going to tell you something that I tell every single client. And it's for these ones that say, I can't wait that long. Like, I can't wait a month, or I can't wait 2 months or 3 months. The best time to fix your credit is when you don't need it.
Very good point. Yes,
The worst time to fix your credit is when you need it.
I agree.
Because I run into clients say, oh, I want to buy a house in 3 months. I'm like, I can get your results in 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
but it might not be in the time frame that you like it.
Yeah. No, you should do it when you don't have to do it. In regards to the fee situation for the people, viewers and listeners, basically, let's just say it's $1,000. People don't have that type of money. You work with them on payment plans.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you have So I'll share something with you. I was about to say, do you work with them on regular payments, or do you have a program, which would be interesting because it probably would affect their credit. Like when I was basically working in different law firms, there was financial services offered, and I was actually like a lending guy where I basically would have these banks that would do soft credit approvals to see if you got approved. Well, actually, I'll share the story with you, which is interesting, just to have. Basically, if you got arrested for a DUI or domestic battery, on the most part, it would cost like $2,500 or $3,500. So you come into the law firm, the lawyer would meet with the client to basically go over the case, but I was doing the paperwork, the intake, the case management in general, and helping the person, especially if they got arrested, try to get their car out, how do they get their license, all these things. Since I'm a retired police officer, I had that background experience, even though the attorney was basically dealing with the court issue and providing that legal services. But how do you afford the $2,500? You just got arrested. You just got bailed out. They used your money. You basically broke. A lot of people are broke after they get arrested, especially the car's $500 and the bail's another $500, right? So my strategy was to help people was that there was loan programs, Lending USA and some other programs. It was a soft credit approval, no money down, and you had 120 days to pay it off, and there was no interest.
Yeah.
So my goal to them was like, look, you need the money now. You need a lawyer. You need help. Apply for the loan, and then basically you have 120 days to pay it off where there's no interest.
No interest, yeah.
So I thought it was great. It was a soft credit approval, and it was a very quick loan, and a lot of people did it, and it helped them, And I said, look, we don't make money off of you if you keep it more than 120 days. You got to pay it off as quick as possible, in general. So you have to get up and running, and you'll be okay, and, don't get arrested again, DUI, domestic battery, stuff like that. But the loan programs I thought was great. Now, the firm brought in a lot more money because they got paid in 72 hours, and they lost maybe 10%, which is nothing in the long run.
Right.
So it was a way of basically bringing in revenue every single month. But to me, I looked at it, I was really helping. Well, I was helping the firm, correct, because my goal was business development to bring in money. But the truth of the matter is I felt I was really helping the client because if you don't have a private attorney, you're statistically less likely to get you'll get a worse result on the most part by using a public defender because a private attorney normally will take time, will push the case out, make it get colder and older in general. And there's certain strategies that they're going to use. Or they have a better relationship with the deputy district attorneys or the judges or who knows what. It's a mixture of things that go on. But I personally felt that a private attorney, criminal defense attorney, is better than a public defender. Now, some people would say that's not true. There's some great public defenders, which is true. But on the most part, I felt that it did help by having a private attorney to be in your corner. Yeah. But they needed the funding. So they walked out basically getting approved the loan. They don't have to make a payment for like 45 days until they get the bill. And it helped them. But it helped the business and helped the client. Because a lot of people, they really wanted an attorney, and court it could be the next day, in general. So do you have programs like that, or you would not do that because that affects their credit? The soft once they are signed for it, then it's a hard pull on their credit. But it was a soft credit pull to get approved. But it was only $35. So when you work with people with credit repair, do you have a program, or do you just work with them on a separate payment plan?
So to answer your question, I did have a program. It's called a SEMA.
Okay.
It's about the same thing of what you just said. It was a soft credit check. They didn't have to make a payment, but they had to pay it off in 90 to 120 days.
Okay.
That you could get started at one point with a SEMA for only like $10 to $15.
Okay.
The reason why I'm not using it anymore is because my subscription got canceled. You know why? Because they weren't paying it back.
They weren't what? Paying
my
you?
Clients that would sign up with that, they weren't paying it back.
So did it affect you?
It affected me, so they shut down my account.
Okay. So they shut down because you were a liability yourself, your business.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually,
I was a liability to them because they
weren't collecting.
They weren't collecting there, and they were paying me. So
did you know that at the end? Like, did you know? I guess you knew at the end from them.
I knew at the end that it was different clients that were signed up.
That's funny.
So that got shut down. So what I do now is I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't let money stop a client from working with me to get to their goal.
Awesome.
So what I do is
you try to work with everybody.
I work with everybody, exactly. But the payment plan is customized just for this client. It's not the same price. It's not the same payments. Or let's say they don't have money, like you just said. What if they're just broke? They're just broke whatsoever. Guess what? I hire anybody. Work with me. Send me 5 clients. We'll start that process for you. Send me 3 clients. We'll start that process for you. I'll pay you out.
You know, it's interesting. When I was using the lending program, it was called Lending USA, and I established a relationship there out of California. And I was asking, like, same thing to you, like, what businesses are good businesses?
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to think of what they said specifically, but it was very interesting. The first two that I remember right now. One was Petland was their major client. Anyone that wanted a dog that was $1,000 or $2,000, that Len USA was like the big company to use.
Mhm.
It's a pet store. The second one was funeral services. When someone passes away, they need funeral services.
see that.
Lending program, right? Someone dies, you need to bury them. It was a funeral. I forgot what the third one was, but my joke was that to buy a storefront that was like a square
Mhm.
and have Lending USA to be the main lending company, have funeral services on one side, a pet store on the other side. Anything that was good with funding, like that was, that you could use the program, because you were providing the capital, to sell the service or the product.
Mhm.
So it was dog and funeral. I forgot what the other one was. It's been so long, but it was an interesting concept because basically people are getting approved for the dog, or they're using the lending program, which is part of the strategy of that business. So I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
My question is top 3 businesses that young people can be involved in these days, or any business advice from what you see with people, people that want to start a business or do something in general, make some money right away. What would be the 3 things you would recommend to jump in? It could be jump in with using your background experience to get them set up. It probably pays for that. I guess it's really 3 or 5 things to get going for business. They want to make money. They want to do something. They don't have a lot of funds. You're going to help them basically get the funding and the credit set up. What would those businesses be now?
I would say the top 5 businesses to get into is 1, trucking, Turo, which is also a car, Airbnb, drop shipping. Last one, I would say it isn't fast cash, but I would say have assets, buy property. You know why? Because if you're out of your own, like if something happens to you in the business, right, you have another asset.
Problem is the average person can't really buy anything.
Yeah.
The normal person, especially things are higher.
Yeah.
Now, there are strategies behind that, which my wife and I basically, which is seller financing or owner will carry deals.
Yeah. But check this out. I'm in part of sub 2, which I told you. You know what that is, correct?
You said sub 2. Tell me again what it is.
Sub 2 is where you buy houses that are about to foreclosure.
Say it one time.
You buy houses, or you acquire houses that are about to foreclosure.
About to foreclose. So basically, distressed property, people that are defaulting on their loans. And you're buying those properties with, well, it could be no money down.
It could be no money.
It could just be the paperwork.
Exactly.
You take over the loan. And what do you call that thing again?
It's called sub 2.
Sub 2. Is that a company?
No, that's
just
subject
2.
Subject 2. Sub
Oh,
2.
that's what you're saying, sub 2?
Mhm.
I never heard someone say sub 2. Normally we say subject 2.
That's the name of the community. It's called sub 2 or subject 2.
Subject 2
to
is a community, you mean in general, or
Yeah.
like a group or Facebook group?
No, it's just a community. It's
A community of what?
Yeah, just real estate investors or real estate agents.
But you just mean that it's just a strategy.
It's a strategy.
When you're saying it's a group.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're not saying a Facebook group. Or you're saying like a meetup group?
It's a meetup group, but it's also an Instagram group as well.
Okay, you just gotta send me that. So normally I say subject to. So I've done that, where I basically taken over the loan, placed it into a trust, and basically take over ownership. Give $5,000 to lead. Basically was upside down. I have one of those homes that are like that, which is a success story. The guy was upside down. He was doing drugs. He was about to lose the home. I took over the home. I think it was $5,000 or $10,000. And basically the home, technically was upside down. Maybe now there's debt of $100,000 and is maybe worth $360,000.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to find those distressed properties, even though there are different strategies behind the scenes. It does take time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're part of a group that looks for those.
Yeah, I'm part of a huge group that looks for those.
Okay. Do you do that a lot?
Yeah.
Do you have business cards that you give out? Like, do you have cards like real estate investor cards if you meet somebody? Like, how would you find that property? Or you have somebody else you work with?
I have somebody else that I work with, so
Okay.
they find these properties, or they could just look it up.
Okay.
Because it's obviously public.
So we'll talk about it. It's funny, you kept saying sub 2. Like,
Yeah.
it sounded familiar, like subject 2.
Subject 2, yeah. Subject
Like
2.
I said, I actually feel bad because the one property I have, basically it's looking for distressed properties, right?
Mm.
Or properties that default. And right now in September, I think it's September 23rd, there won't be any more forbearances. You familiar with that? The laws changed right now where people were doing these forbearances on their homes, where now they can't do that in the future. So it's going to be a problem. There will be more foreclosures and defaults.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is with supply and demand, the homes are still going for a high price.
Yep.
People think it'll be a foreclosure that's worth like $100,000. It won't be like that. Maybe it's 20. Maybe it could be 20% less than the fair market value.
Right.
Which is a whole other situation. Okay, so bottom line is, Alex, you got a lot of wealth and knowledge, which I love. A lot of people I meet, don't have that much knowledge and experience. So I love what you're doing because I feel like you are helping. You are like a problem solver. more in the financial world that you're really helping physically and with them to get them up and running. I like some of the things that we came up with in general that are ways for people to basically, to go into business and to get money. So you really are helping people in general. So, I mean, I love that stuff in general. So I'm definitely looking forward to referring to different people. I want you to basically play with mine so we can come back and we'll go over it.
Yep.
And then you say, like, look, there's 12 deletions, 3. It's been a long time since I looked at it. In general, like I said, we just purchased a car. So it probably should be a little bit higher, but maybe things have changed with my life the last year or two.
Mm.
But so, like I said, we'll see. My wife's is higher. I think it's because she has more of a stable job, not a 1099 or LLC.
I don't think it really matters as far as income.
Maybe my profile is different.
It's just the profile that matters at the end of the day, because your
Okay.
score is just, I'm going to use it like this. Your credit score, credit profile is totally different. You know why? Because credit score is just, it's like you sending in a resume to me.
Well, I'll share with you. I'm looking forward because now I got to know you. Like, I feel more confident. I think that's where the problem is that a lot of people just don't know who is Alex or who is John, like who's working on it. You see these different companies. Even ChatGPT, right, gave me 3 names. I don't know if they're good or bad. I'm going to look them up, look at the reviews. But, people also get intimidated or they're stressed and they don't want to face their fears.
Fear of the unknown. That's just all it is.
Exactly. And even myself, I'm like, all right, I wonder what's really on there. It's been so long.
Mm.
Or I put them in fraud alert. So, like, basically, I can't even
Fraud
get
alert,
access. So, yes, it's a good time for me to play with it with you. Let's come back on the show as well after like 90 days. We'll talk about it. If there's different things that you have basically in the future that can help people something new, like there's a new system like Clover or something, come back on and basically let's talk about it. We can offer it to people. I think July 1st at this new building that I'm going to be with, I think this is a good place for us to basically help people with those several factors. So I think it's good. Anything else that you want to share with listeners and viewers of the Problem Solver?
Yeah. So I want to shout out a couple different guys. It's part of actually Subject 2 or Sub 2.
Okay.
His name's Chino Monte. And there's also Abraham, and there's Ramel. I partnered up with these investors or Sub 2 real estate agents because their job is, I'm sure you're familiar, they don't buy just foreclosure houses or acquire them. They actually go into the tunnels under the Las Vegas tunnels to find the homeless, and they put them into these homes.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I'm part of that group is, I'm sure you're familiar, is because I'm fixing about 100 military homeless fixing their credit on the house. Okay, getting them back on their feet so they could use their VAs to get approved for a home and get back on their feet.
Love it.
Not that, I'm also working with prisoners. I work with almost anybody that's done any crime. You know why? Because I'm not going to let one thing that they did, everybody needs a second chance.
I agree with you.
Right? I'm working with them to help them either work with me, they be my affiliate, or I give them a job, or they pretty much just promote my stuff.
Love it.
That. I'm working with programs for single moms and single dads in Arizona. If they have bad credit, I'm helping them get back on their feet. That's another program. My last program that I want to build, I'm not sure if you're the guy for it. I want to build a program for immigrants.
What would that be?
I'm sorry?
How would that be? Just for credit?
Just credit. If they have credit, I want to work with immigrants.
If they have somewhat of a credit score?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to build programs with immigrants. I want to build programs with single moms, single dads. With bad credit, I've built programs for homeless already. I built programs for prisoners already. But the last 2, which is single moms, single dads with kids, and immigrants, is what I want to do in the next 90 days.
I guess the biggest thing is that, the bigger that you get, I mean, can you teach? Is it just you? Do you have other people that work for you these days? Because as you get bigger in general and do these things, is it more teachable, or you feel like you have the secret sauce because you're looking and, it's kind of like a little bit of a mixed drink that you're doing, right? Like you're playing with different things.
Yeah. So I have a team that works with me. Like I'm be honest with you, David. I used to do letters. So I used to write like the letters. It would take me like 6 hours to work on one person's profile.
Okay.
I realized I'm wasting time working on someone's profile. So guess what I did? I acquired a back-end team that's been doing credit for almost 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they do the letters for me. All I had to do is focus on sales, coaching my clients.
Those letters don't have to be handwritten, right? You could type them as a standard letter and just fill it in.
Yeah, type out a standard letter, fill it in, or create it, customize it. But the whole point is that it was taking too much time. I wasn't utilizing my time, utilizing my business. Right. I wanted to work in the business, but I wanted to work on the business.
Okay.
Right. So instead of me doing that, I acquired my own funding consultant, where she's literally going to do the exact same thing I would tell you in the first place, how I'm going to build your profile, but she's the one actually sending out these profiles. connecting with my VPs. Like I connect with my VPs over the phone, but she's not doing that for me. So I have a team. I'm literally trying to replace myself in every single almost spot.
Okay.
So I don't want to be a slave to like what I created.
No, it's great.
So.
Look, I mean, you're definitely helping a lot of people. I mean, it's a big thing that you're doing to help people in general. Tremendous. You're also helping in regards to the workflow and workforce for whether it's a mortgage guy or a real estate guy making transactions. Person buys a home, then they need a roof, they're a handyman. Like you are helping basically the economy by getting one person a home.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And the income in general to help people. Whatever I could personally do as the problem solver, basically, I would love to. I'd love to refer people to you in general. Like I said, you're the first person that's on here, you know, for credit repair, and that I feel like you could actually help people in general. I see you in your eyes. You have a good heart piece. You want to help people in general because it is a great feeling of success when you help people in general. In that regards, basically, appreciate you coming on the show in general, and to any of the listeners and viewers, basically, the problem solver. Again, the goal is to basically have someone like Alex who's got a wealth of knowledge and experience that wants to help people. That's a good person. Yep. So again, you can contact me at 702-999-111. The problem solver, I can connect you with Alex, and my goal is to help you. Maybe there's different, you know, like I do work with some mortgage agents, realtors, and different people, and sometimes mixing people together to make the right strategy. Everyone's a little bit of a different situation.
Yep.
So Alex, again, appreciate you coming on the show. Definitely any of the viewers and listeners that want credit repair, that want help, that want to go into a business, that need funding in general like that, please hit me up. Again, Dave Kohlmeier, problem solver. Thanks again, Alex, for joining us. He'll come back in the future as well. We want to connect you to basically help you out, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely.
All right, Alex, thanks so much. See you guys, problem solvers. See you in the next episode. Have a good week and be safe out there.